Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Monday night's podcasting action. Live tonight from Texas Motor Speedway. And ladies and gents, we've got another banger of a race to bring towards you tonight. It's going to be just about the same as usual, nighttime race. Oh, it's going to be fun. Jimmy?
It is going to be fun, yeah.
Should I say Howie? I don't know you again?
No, don't. I'd said this. That was my father, and that's how it'll stay.
Is that right, is it?
Yeah. It's like Greg Barber did not like being called Barbara. I do not like being called Howie.
Noted, and immediately ignored. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much for your contribution.
I expected, nonetheless. Well, we are actually broadcasting from the boat ramp tonight.
Yeah, we literally, to those of you at home, we've actually gone ahead and changed the Discord channel that we actually broadcast from. In honor of tonight's series, we renamed it the boat ramp. So we are officially live to you from the boat ramp. I can't believe we didn't do this last week.
We should have done it for the whole season.
Yeah, Monday nights the broadcasting channels on Discord get renamed. Oh.
Just leave it for the whole season. I wonder if anybody had noticed.
Yeah, forget it. Let's just not change the channels. Everyone's going to go through Discord and just be like, what's the boat ramp?
What's the boat ramp?
Tune in Monday night and you can find out.
Yeah, that's right. We still don't know enough about this boat ramp, though.
We know enough, just to sort of get us through. But that's about it.
All right, so... You go, sorry. Jeez, just interrupt you while I'm trying to talk about the racing. So we are just about to hit qualifying.
There'll be none of that. There'll be no qualifying. No interrupting. That's not how we function here. You know, part of how we function is that we just don't function. That's the actual purpose.
Everything is organised to a T on Monday night. We spend countless hours in our diaries writing down things we need to do and talk about. Just like we probably need to talk about the points being the penultimate round, so...
Right, yeah, I mean, you know... It's actually really curious because of the way that I do the points, it's actually easier for me to just leave the drop rounds in everything to start off with. So I've gone ahead and done that, so the drop rounds are already calculated. Everything else after this week's worth of racing will pick up their drop rounds. And excuse me whilst my cat decides that my monitor that everything is displaying on is the one that she needs to turn off.
She really knows what buttons they are, doesn't she? That's a smart cookie. All right, Aiden with the first lap, 30.255. Not bad, good size. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you to DSL Welding Services.
Oh, he got off the bottom real early. No. I was worried because I was watching the corner arc that he took. And he got off the bottom really early, which is what spooked me. I thought for sure he was going into the outside barrier then, but he's done well. He's done real well.
So we've had Darren drop in. He said, hey, boys, sorry I'm not racing tonight. Yeah, you're bloody right. What are you going to do to make it up for us? Oh,
Matt Keane actually also said, sends his apologies. He's also busy tonight, so... He's been extremely busy with the Stedfords and things and endurance racing right throughout the weekend. He just doesn't stop, that guy.
But he's going to stop for the Monday Night podcast. That's a bit rude.
You bet. Yeah, you bet.
Right, so yeah, the points. That's right. That's what we're doing. Yeah. See, we planned this.
I was actually... One of the things I had flagged to talk about tonight was just a couple of little intricacies. Because, I've told you, and I've probably told most people out there in our audience as well, but I've recently diagnosed... Well, not properly diagnosed yet, but will be diagnosed at some point. That's our whole process. With autism. And there's... a few different things, and a part of that is object permanence. If something's not directly in front of me, I completely forget that it's there. And it's not directly in front of me. So if you've ever heard me say that I've forgotten about things, which reminds me, I'm supposed to sign into our timesheet stuff. Which you told me about how long ago? Less than 5 minutes ago you told me to
Yeah, you still haven't done it, have you?
No, I haven't, because I keep talking about things.
It's alright, you don't want to get paid. It's fine.
Mate, this is a job? What?
Look who's back!
Pete Morris!
Pete Morris in the 911 truck is back. Good to see you back, Pete. Good to see you back. Hope we're all doing well this evening. Monday night, penultimate round. We are 2 races away from crowning our season 3 NASTRUCKS champion.
Oh, word.
I can't believe I've done 3 seasons and I haven't got sick of listening to you talk yet.
Yeah? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah. Dude, hello, darling.
Oh, hello.
You
Hello, gorgeous.
You've been
Who
finishing.
can I hear in the background?
You doing the decorations on the tree?
Is it coming up to Christmas?
You want me to come look quick? Scott, hold the fort down. I gotta go look at my daughter's pretty decorations for 2 minutes.
I mean, fair, 100%. I don't think you have a choice. You better get out there.
Yeah, you can hold it down. Qualifying's just over. You can chat to chat, so... and Glenn has had to take a drop round tonight. Man, what is going on?
I think it's just one of those cases where there's a whole bunch of people who are busy tonight.
No, nobody should be busy on a Monday night.
I mean, you know,
All right,
it is what it is.
Grid will go up soon. Scotty will talk you through it. There were some good times tonight, and I will be back once I look at my daughter's pretty decorations on the Christmas tree.
Mate, I gotta be honest. I'm with her. The Christmas tree decorations is where I need to be. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Yet again, my cat has decided that she wants everything ripped out and ripped out now. So. Righto, qualifying now in the books, and it's going to be Blaine Densley yet again that takes out qualifying here tonight. He'll set the standard with a 30.104. Aiden Schultz will roll off the outside of the front row. Clayton Davies and Pete Jones will make up row number 2. On row number 3, we'll have Andrew Proctor and Aiden Norris. Looking back to row number 4, I see Tom Riley there, and unfortunately Stream's not playing ball for me at the moment, so I can't really tell you who's off alongside of him. Matty Skulls it is, sorry, my apologies. Luke Kenny and Michael Locke make up row number 5, and then in behind there's Pete Morris and Tyson McAvoy is your safety car driver, so go ahead and ignore him.
Who are we ignoring?
Tyson McAvoy.
Ah,
he's driving a safety car, mate, just ignore him. It doesn't matter.
I also heard he once put it off the track driving a safety car.
Oh, absolutely. I have the clip of that. I can go and find it again if you want me to.
Is that Skullsy's truck, the 605? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. He's stuck with it, the paint.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It is. It is. We spoke to them last week about sticking with it, and then they've gone through with it. I'm impressed. I love it.
Oop. I thought he said it was on the back of Skullsy's one.
Well, I don't think he was. He put it on the back of Aiden's car.
Oh, on the back of Aiden's.
Yeah.
Oh, looking at the right Aiden.
Hayden Norris.
Aiden, not Aiden. Oh my gosh, the Only Ramps truck. You guys. He
has been watching your content. He has been watching you.
You guys are too much. The Only Ramps. Oh, there it is. You guys are legends. Let me get that. The grid. I hope we went through the grid, Scott. That's something we're supposed to do. Huge shout out to the boys.
Why are we doing
Look at
VIR, Virginia International Raceway in the Porsche 992? I'm completely and utterly unsure what's going on in our chat. By the way, Wing Cup is the number 1. Wing Cup, the autobiography.
Yeah.
I want that. I would read that.
Written by Matthew Skulls. But I gotta show all the love. Thank you so much, guys, for putting my Twitch handle. If you want to come check me out on my Twitch channel at any time, there it is. The Right Sim boys are representing the shibby here, so thanks so much, lads.
Yeah, it's T1A0 Howie. I'm sorry, mate. We started something and now it's never going away. I hope you know that. It's like every meme that starts on this channel. It starts and they just never stop.
It's true, yeah. Glenn's got his miniskirt out for Densley and Davies tonight. That's good. Oh, Fritzy is talking about the VIR spin in the safety car, and we agree. We are, that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're podcasting. That's right.
That's how it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
We're green on the podcast. The podcast is a go, ladies and gentlemen.
It is a go.
And we're often podcasting.
Should be a good podcast, I think. There'll be a lot to talk about. Some movers and shakers.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, there's the first bit of contact, and that's gonna wreck him, and that should bring out the first caution. It does. There's gonna be a whole bunch of cars that'll pile in. They're all still getting involved.
No, I don't miss too much of that. We're gonna have to see a replay.
So basically, whoever's in front, the 50 car, has tried to lift off and rotate it nicely and save a little bit of tyre early on. It might have been a little bit of unsettling, and Aiden just did not realise that the closing speed was just a little bit too much.
Oh my god.
Simple mistake in NASCAR. I agree. Oh my god. She's right.
Oh no, the red car just did it too.
Oh no, it wasn't at VIR. No, not in the 992. It was just recently, actually. It was Phillip Island, and it was the McLaren GT4. It was during the GT3s on a Friday night, I believe.
No.
Was
There's going fast.
I have
was McAvoy's moment of glory? Yes,
I have
you've got
a guest
information.
commentator.
What is your daughter's lovely name? I don't think. Have you actually told me
Her
that?
name's Hallie.
Hallie, lovely to meet you, Hallie. What can you tell us about the pretty NASCAR truck you see on the screen?
Apart from she can't hear you, but yes. Yeah, alright, it's bedtime, kiddo.
Bye, kiddo. Lovely to meet you, Hallie.
Right, love you, darling.
You've got your daughter that's trying to get involved in the broadcast, and my cats are, so.
She was sitting on my lap using the steering wheel.
She said, Dad's not going to make use of this, so I've got to at least get some benefit out of it. Clayton Davies was the car that triggered all of that nonsense. So there'll be a ton of cars who will file their way down through pit road. This is an amazing track, actually, here. Get off Tyson McAvoy. He's not out there. Ignore him.
Yeah, I was looking for the pace car, sorry, and I forgot that it's automated.
Yeah, there he is, in pit lane. He's pacing with his NASCAR truck.
Right, so we were meant to be talking about the points, or did you do that already?
No, I haven't done that yet. Because, I mean, the points ceased to exist the instant that we tried to talk about me timing on to our timing software.
True.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true.
They just gone.
Gone. Totally forgot about them. Anyway,
Yep.
It's really close. Like, it's really close. It is
Ridiculously
nearly
close.
anyone's game with 2 races to go.
Unfortunately, for Matty Keane, he's not actually here tonight. In terms of the points, Aiden Schultz is 13 points to the good out in front at the moment. Scalzi is in P2. He's got 11 points over Aiden Norris. And then from Aiden Norris, it's 1 point to Thomas Riley, 1 point to Matty Keane, 1 point to Glenn McLeod. So Keeney and McLeod will go into the final race of the season with 1 point separating them. That is confirmed because neither of them have been able to make it out here tonight. And that sort of sets us up for a really interesting race.
It's going to be
with a lot more
interesting.
context to it than...
Where's the T-Rain situated in the points?
T-Train? Well, he's P4.
He's P4 at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow, what a phenomenal drive this season. And he came in, 3 races after the season had started?
Yeah. No, he's been here from race 1.
Oh, has he? Oh, gosh.
Yep.
See, I should have written that down.
You're like trying to build up all of these really cool stories, only to forget that
It must have been end of last season that the T-Rain
I think
came
it
on
was.
board, yeah. Darren Robb saying he loves this track, but he's annoyed he can't race that. Well, look, mate, that definitely sounds like a you problem. I'm sure you could have done something about it. I'm sure you could have. Nah, mate, it's a bummer you're not out here. We love seeing all you guys getting out here and having an absolute blast in the trucks. We also really appreciate you guys coming along and watching the broadcast. I mean, the podcast.
Did you forget that it's a podcast?
Yeah, it's always a podcast, never a broadcast.
Oh, but yeah, no. The reason why I actually added this one to the schedule is because it's actually it's one of the best tracks you can actually go racing in an IndyCar. When you come around the corners here in an IndyCar, turn one has just got all this space that you can use. And because you can't follow in the IndyCar, you sort of got to spread yourselves out and use the entirety of the track. That's exactly what you want. You know, you want the ability to actually get out there and go racing and use up all the lanes. So it's a phenomenal track to do that. And it basically just envisages all that is fun about oval racing. You know, line selection, tyre saving. Trucks won't use the very top end of the track here tonight. That's just really not an option for them. They don't get fast enough. There's so much more of an advantage by taking the slower way around the faster way around the track all the way down the bottom. You won't see them use every little bit of track. But that's okay.
Right. Safety car.
Pace car, mate. Pace car's
Pace
in.
car,
And
that's the one.
Blaine Densley's going to go ahead and press that accelerator pedal. Whole field will shuffle through. So Schultz will have a lot of work to do. I think he's actually a lap down, is he? Yeah, he is. Peter Morris and Aiden Schultz both a lap down, and both would have had to have towed after that previous caution. So most importantly, Schultz is going to get by Morris and do it nice and quickly in case that second caution triggers. And that's what they'll be after. Now they'll set the sights on what they can pick up out through the windshield.
We've got
2 packs full
two
straight
packs,
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just says to me somebody didn't get the memo that the accelerator pedal's on the right.
Oh, yeah,
But-
the accelerator pedal is on the right. Doesn't matter if it's left or right-hand
No.
drive either.
No, it's always on the right, yeah.
Yeah.
The cabin's always laid out the same.
That makes no sense.
Why?
I don't know. It's like the steering wheel's on the left, but your gearbox is on the right. Like, and then you're on the right, but your gearbox is on the left. Why not just change the foot pedals around to make it really more confusing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce that Chibi is retiring from commentating.
Mate, you're supposed to leave that as a surprise.
He's jet setting off to become an engineer who's in charge of designing these things.
I am an engineer. You just ask Gus Beck, he'll tell you.
Who?
Gus Beck, the good friend
Oh,
of
there
mine.
he is, yeah. I can see him. He's coming through on your Twitch channel. Ladies and gentlemen, he's actually streaming on his Twitch channel tonight, so if you actually... If you're sitting in one of the chats, that's why you're seeing a whole bunch of messages with names you may not recognize.
Yeah. I thought if I'm on comms, you know, I may as well throw it out to my Twitch channel. I got a fair few people that like dropping in and saying g'day, so and I got one of my favourites, Mr. Gusbeck, who is letting us know that the cars need to turn left over and over again. Look like Pete Morris has just had a big incident. Straight to the pits.
That'll be number 2 of the night, so he's not having fun.
Nate Allen, we should do a race like that.
I mean, it's coming up in the summer series. By the way, I'm actually supposed to get Steven, the track list for next season tonight. As you can tell, that hasn't happened yet because I stopped thinking about it for 5 minutes.
Because organisation.
No, I was organised. I wanted to think about it. I definitely intended to think about it. It was on the to-do list today. I actually got a lot done today.
Me too. It was 35 degrees and like 80-90% humidity, and it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Have a look at these guys. Again, 2-lane racing. So the top line's going to get momentum off the corner. So see how... That's a perfect shot. That tells you exactly all you need to know about how to race one of these cars. That high line is always going to give you the momentum, and it's if the straight is long enough to make it worth it. So short track racing, the straights aren't long enough for you to overhaul the deficit. But here on the longer tracks, there is definitely enough.
Freaking cat eyes, man. Oh my Lord. The Riot Boys have outdone themselves. Wow, bit of movement.
My favourite part is it's the Whincup story, the autobiography. Can we need to send that to Jamie Whincup.
Oh, these boys are getting close. So that side draft is playing a bit of havoc now, isn't it? It's moving the trucks around a lot. Well,
there's a couple things really going on here. There's sort of two lanes worth of racing going on down in 3 and 4. So they're obviously trying to pack race, trying to keep each other's momentum. Have a look at Scalzi. Backs his corner entry up a long way and looks for a late apex. And because turn 1 here and turn 2 is so wide, you can do that. Where you've got narrower corners, you don't really have that as an option. So they're trying to create momentum now. So Scalzi's been forced to the high side, so he will have momentum here. It's a little bit loose. It's not settled, the truck. And he's just trying to hang on to it a little bit, manipulate it around, see how he can hang on to this thing.
I'm glad you put in there the truck, just to make sure everybody knew what we were talking about.
The only dads?
The only dads? Only ramps.
Only ramps! Oh my god, we have only... Yeah.
It's the only ramps.
Yeah?
I think I need the Riot Boys to do me a livery. All right, Blaine Densley is just moving and shaking with it. Like he's, 58.58 of a second, not too far to Pete Jones, and then Luke Kenny. He's a second behind Blaine Densley at the moment. But our battle pack pretty much is around Tom Riley, Hayden Norris, and Matthew Scholes right now.
I've got some good news for you. Joining us in the boat ramp for the first time ever. Are you ready for this?
Is it, let me guess, is it Darren Robb?
No. Somebody actually showed up and is in attendance for the race tonight.
Oh.
Go on, have a guess. You've heard him chuckle now in the background.
Oh, it's Pete. Hey, Pete.
Hey, boys. How's it going?
Good, mate. What did you do?
Oh, mate, my foot is nowhere near healed. So been away on holiday, so just literally got back over the weekend and saw Texas was on tonight, and I thought, I'll just jump in and see what I can do, because I haven't turned any laps in like literally 4 weeks. And after that first one, I normally left foot brake. So it was. I tried to brake with my right foot, and clearly didn't work, and couldn't get out of the way. And on that last one there, I just had a bit of a spin. And I just couldn't put the brake pressure enough. So I pulled it to jump in and see what's going on with you boys.
Podcasting,
Yeah.
The usual Monday night.
Yes.
Yeah, I was. Hang on, wait. Pete doesn't know we're podcasting tonight?
Are you podcasting?
No, sorry. We're attempting to be entertaining.
From the boat ramp.
Yeah. So as you can see, we're actually broadcasting from the Boat Ramp channel, which, I mean, that should tell all.
True. Very true indeed.
I mean, look, so in terms of things, obviously, if you're going to be able to race, then NASCAR trucks is probably the closest thing that you're going to be able to race, right? So it's not easy. I've raced with broken fingers in the past, and that is not easy. And again, this is the sort of car that you would go to when you've got a broken finger, not a whole bunch of shifting. As a proviso, normally the IndyCar is quite good until you go to short tracks and you require those gear shifts. I've done that. That was painful. All right, mate. So recovery process. How far along are you? What's it looking like? Will we be back racing again by next season?
Look, I definitely hope so. I think probably I'll see the surgeon in the next couple of weeks, and I guess we'll go from there.
more importantly, has the SIPO meter increased whilst you've been away from racing?
Unfortunately, yes. We we went on the family and I went on a cruise, went to Sydney and went up to Cairns and back over 7, 8, 9, 8 night away. And don't have to get up and go to work. Kids can go to kids club and they can roam around. So yes, there was far too many consumption of alcohol for most of the day and into the evening every day.
You could say you were taking the NASCAR line around Australia because you were turning left up the coast.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Luke
So,
Kenny
yes.
has caught Pete Jones, while Densley has pushed out to a 1.5 seconds.
Tell you what, Aiden Schultz is going to be annoyed if he doesn't get that caution because he's in the lucky. He's just been sitting there. He's just waiting for the caution to
He
happen.
needs the lucky dog right now.
He does. Yes.
He needs it. There's nothing else he can do.
Yeah, he needs. That's all he can do. I mean, he can go as hard as he possibly can, and he might get back to say a couple of these guys, but he's never going to get a full lap back on the leaders. Like it's going to be like a pace advantage. Have a look at the gaps and the packs that have sort of started to form now as well. You've got our leader Densley, who's 1.5 away. Kenny's going down after him. He's got the head of this pack now, and you've got sort of 4 cars in that next pack. Then there's 3.5 seconds back to the T Riley train, the T train. And there's another 3 cars in that pack, and then Peter Gretton is out on his own a little bit. Michael Lock's just about with him. So you've got to work together at these sorts of races. You've got to stay in your draft packs, and you actually move faster if you're not racing each other. So sometimes you will use that, and a few of the guys would actually be using that as an opportunity to save a little bit of tyre as well. You just let the move happen. Don't race people, because as soon as you start racing people, Pete, you turn in a little bit too much, don't you? What does that do to that right front tyre?
Generally, yes. Although I was probably a bit heavy on the old jandle for that last one, and yeah, just unfortunately the foot pain got me, so yeah, wasn't on the game, but yes.
I'll tell you what, mate, it was good to see you out here, because we didn't expect to see you at all.
No, but I thought, I'd give it a crack.
And then you slammed into a wall, and that was your practice run.
Pretty much.
Well, you haven't read up, Cole. There's not much you can say. I mean, you've been enjoying everything that's been happening on a Monday night, even when you've not been in the car, and that's been a pleasure to see. It's not often that we see. In fact, I would say you're the only case whereby we see somebody tuning in each and every week when they're not able to race. Like that just doesn't happen. So we actually really appreciate your patronage and your support of us here. It's awesome, man.
That's good, because as you were starting to say that, I was thinking, Jesus, I've got a sad life. So that's what I had to just
Spending Monday nights watching these two fools talk.
Kidding? Fools? Okay, all right. Are we not entertaining anymore? This isn't entertaining.
You are.
Okay.
I said
do
fools.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah, look, I can be a fool and be entertaining. It's not mutually exclusive,
Oh, look, there's your Twitch handle on the back of the wing.
Oh, they got
They've
both
got both of our Twitch handles on the back of the truck.
I'm disappointed though, because I've done a fair bit of streaming over the weekend. He tuned into you, but not me.
Yeah, but you do boring racing stuff. Who wants to watch that?
No, boring racing stuff. Thanks, mate.
Yo, what's up, Steve? Thanks for dropping in, mate. We are doing well, mate. I was just giving Scotty some bit of biffing.
Hazing. The old hazing. Yep.
Nobody watches this racing stuff.
No. Skullsy's now got by... Oh, pit stops are starting to come out. So
Yes.
we've hit our maximum fuel window, which is 30 laps, effectively. Which means that this is going to be a good old 2-stopper. Green flag pit stops coming through now.
Yeah, so I was watching Pete Jones. Watching Pete Jones. He was in second place and he fell all the way back to 5th and was still falling very quickly. So I'm actually surprised we didn't see him go in and maybe grab a set of tyres.
Well, he could have been trying to do some tyre saving. Who's dived down there? That is Pete Jones. So Pete Jones is going to be one of the early stoppers here. So now you split this run into... There's no reason...
Oh, I called it. There we go.
There's only two extra sets of tires. I believe, Pete. Are you still in the session, Pete, as a driver?
Yeah, mate. Yep.
Yep. There's only 2 extra sets of tires in the pit lane, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. So the issue is, if you pit with 25 to go and there's a caution, everybody else is going to have fresher tires than you. But if everything continues as it is and it's green, well, you want the better rubber on for as long as you possibly can. So. And I mean, this is starting to lean in the direction of it being a green flag stops in the end. If we recall, the last time we had one of those races, it was Matty Skulls that brought home the big old W, and he is starting to surge on points. And critically, this is going to be a bad night here for Aiden Schultz, which is actually going to give Skullsy a shot in the overall. Wow, all of a sudden, next week's race is just starting to light up.
We definitely don't want to be giving those Riot boys a shot at the title.
No, I mean, the boat ramp trophy's going home at this rate, potentially.
Yeah. It's probably going to be England in the World Cup all over again, but they might actually take it home this time.
I'm actually just looking for the calendar now. I'm like, what if I booked it? That's right, Homestead Miami. So Homestead Miami Speedway is used to be, over the last sort of decade, used to be the spiritual home of the final race of the season, where champions were crowned, was Homestead Miami Speedway. I believe it called the Magic Miami or something, the Magic Mile, something along those lines. Yeah, it is going to be our championship decider here as well. It's a little bit of a throwback. Next season, I might change it up. I might make... Oh, that's a big old blink out. That's concerning. And I believe Pete Jones actually did a big old lift as well. Just sort of relax that way. Pete's lost a bucket load of time. Is Michael still going? Has he pit?
Just a lot.
Riley's in now. Densley... Okay, see, Thomas Riley was the guy that went the longest. He's gone 34 laps. So it's guaranteed 2-stopper. Cannot make a 1-stopper work.
Yeah, no, Mr. Locke pitted on lap 30 now.
Okay, so that explains why he had up a whole head of steam. So there's a few guys that went a fair bit longer than him, and they're starting to come back now. So Densley pit early. Now, the benefit he's got here is 2 laps earlier than Aiden Norris, and Aiden Norris is back 5 seconds is the difference. The critical one, I think we've got to keep half an eye on, is Skulls.
Gotta keep an eye on those sneaky Riot boys.
Because Skullsy went very, very long. His issue now is that he's 7 seconds back. That is a mammoth task that he's now got ahead of him. And Norris is going to head a seam up. But remember, Norris all season long has been good on the short run and struggled to look after tyres. That's been his biggest weakness. When we initially launched the season a couple seasons ago, it was Aiden Norris and Lachlan Capel that were looking the best at managing their tyres over the extreme long run. But it ends up being that that wasn't actually the case. A lot of the guys were struggling on their tyre management, and now we know that Norris is just this really good short run driver. So I wonder whether or not he's holding back a fraction, or alternatively, if Skulls is holding back a fraction, because he's dropped another half a second off the back of Norris, and I'm pretty sure that Skulls pit after Norris. He was one of the last guys to pit, so he is really conserving. Alternatively, he might be trying to save some fuel, and go really late and hope for a caution. That may be his play at it, or just trying to bank everything up. But can we see those pit numbers again? Because we really need to take stock of what everyone's pit lane windows are. This has turned into a strategy race. So the higher the lap number, the fresher the tire. Oh, that's a big hit for Norris.
That's done some serious damage to the front of his truck there too.
And some serious damage. Skulls is still 9 seconds back. So Skulls has dropped even further back. So something's happened to Skulls as well.
Maybe he's just slow. Have we ever thought about putting that one in there?
Can we get that on his car for next week, Jacob?
Maybe it's Maybelline. No, maybe he's just slow.
NASCAR until 5 years ago. Yeah, so there you go. So from Glen McLeod, fun fact, Homestead was the last race of NASCAR until 5 years ago, at which point Phoenix took over. And that's where we're heading next week. It's a cool track. No, NASCAR.
Don't worry.
You're going to Phoenix, we're all going to Miami.
Yeah.
Win Cup's weighing him down.
Well, I
Gus-
mean, you can't just strap a cat in. You've got to get the 5-point harness for them as well.
That's true. Definitely wouldn't be very safe. I'd
Extra
feel like
harness points.
you need that cat strapped down. That cat's going to cause more problems than I think anybody else on the track.
Well, the other thing is you've got to have a fully designed cat vomiting system, vomit collection system, because you don't want that going over the windscreen.
No, that could be a serious problem.
So either he's managing that in the car. That might be the reason for the pace mystery, is that he's having to manage cat vomit mid-run.
That's what Hughesy's saying. It's all about win cup. Blame it on the cat. If you haven't got the skill, blame it on the cat. Gus has tuned in to say, is there a right turn coming up? Mate, there could be, but it's only a very slight right when they leave the pits to then turn left.
Yeah, it's like they just sort of let the truck gradually drift back out of the pit lane.
Yeah. But if he was here, was it last week or the week before? Gosh, I can't remember. When we were at Watkins Glen.
There was several right turns. So that was the only time that...
Yeah.
Well, no,
Oh,
there's
we've done
twice a
two.
season
Yeah.
they do take right turns. The other ones turn right to go left. So...
Yeah, but we did Watkins Glen, which is a normal road track where the trucks both had to turn left and right, and that was phenomenal. I love seeing them take to the road tracks.
You've been held accountable now, so we need to see this turn in the right direction. Alternatively, so something that may work out in Skulls' favour is if he backs up to this pack of cars that are actually behind him. If they can group up, they will go significantly faster as a pack than they ever would on their own. So that could actually work because they can push each other along, use a little bit of that aero. So that'll actually work in all of their favour. T. Riley's sort of got a choice. He's either going to go hunting these guys down and really get aggressive and try and get on them, burn up a little bit of tyre. The thing is, when you're in a pack like that, a little bit less air going over that rear. It's not a wing, it's just a blade on the rear boot deck of the truck.
I suppose it's a wing.
No, it's a blade. They actually call it a blade. Yeah, so slightly less downforce, slightly more tyre grip, but overall much better speed on the straights. So if he can use Clayton Davies to work with him, then that's going to be in both of their best interests.
So it'd be really interesting to see what some of the tyre percentage of wear for some of these front guys.
And that's exactly what it's all about. It's about tyre percentages. Generally, something that a lot of the top NASCAR guys will actually do on iRacing when they come to a caution is that everyone will post their tyre wear numbers in the chat. It's a really fun sort of thing to do. Say, am I looking after my tyres? My PAP's not burning enough tyre. What's my goal and those sorts of runs? But people just like really comparing those numbers. So a lot of the top guys will actually go ahead and share those numbers.
Share away, guys. You heard it here. Let
That's
us
it.
know.
Juicy, can I get you in those right sim boys' ears, just asking them for the tyre wears? Perhaps Wing Cup's been notating it down. Perhaps Wing Cup's got opposable thumbs.
Only really needs to hit one button, a big red record button. Then he captures it all on MP3.
I was going to say
tape
he's
deck.
going to, write it down.
Well, I've seen a few movies where cats do some really weird things, so... and movies are real life, so...
So, critically, Densley pit on lap 29. So I'm wondering whether or not he was out of fuel at that point because he was running at the head of the field the whole time, burning off a little bit more fuel. Or, alternatively, whether he went because his tyres were going and the margins were starting to come back, which potentially is some other thing. Pete Jones's tyre wear, 87, 87, 87. I'm assuming that's front right. Can I get a rear right tyre wear as well? Because it actually does put some load on the rear right here if you're not careful about how you manage the steering wheel through 3 and 4.
How many laps was he with Pete on those tyres for?
He was on those for 30 laps. That was 30 laps away.
Oh, Jesus.
you performed in Cats, Shippy?
Yes.
no.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, Proctor! Something happened to Andrew Proctor because he's dropped off the tail end of that battle pack again. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he's
he's
got
about
2
about
seconds
even
back.
front and rear. That's really good. When you've got the wear wearing evenly, that says to me that you've got a mixture of driving it off the right rear and a mixture of driving it off the right front. So that says to me that he's driving the truck really, really evenly, and that also says that he's actually going to maintain a better pace over the longer run as well. Alternatively, he's probably not driving the truck hard enough because generally you want to wear, a lot of the time, you wear the right front just a little bit more in the trucks in particular. In the Xfinity and the Cup Series cars, you might put a little bit more wear on the right rear just because they have a little bit more power and you can spin that right rear a little bit when you're turning through the corners. But in Clayton Davis' best interest for the overall race right now, he needs to be on that rear bumper helping Scalzi. These two actually want to work together. Don't fight each other, shove each other down the straight. You're going to be much, much faster. So Scalzi's having trouble getting that truck to turn in at this point. So he's still holding nice momentum up on that top side, but Clayton needs to get in there and push him along. Instead of fighting him down here, he needs to be right on his rear bumper. So he's just picked up that inside apron.
Just like we were trying to do in the street stocks, hey, Pete? Didn't work out as well as we'd hoped, but Cuspec said, when do the crashes happen? Mate, you missed a really good one at the start of the race.
We can't say at the wheel. Scalzi's trying to get a feed down, so he's handed the wheel over to the top. Honestly, if Scalzi's tire saving, he's got to push on. Now we're in this run, we're about 16 laps into it. Even if he pit lap 33, so we're 20 laps into this run. So he's got to push on. He's got to burn that tire off. There's no point to be saving at this point, unless he's going to take this run really, really deep. The only thing that saves him here, and the only shot that he's got, is if he gets a caution. In which case, running long is the answer. But we've only had one caution. It was when everyone was on cold tires. So if I was Scalzi, I'd pit this lap as well, this next lap. Sorry, not Scalzi, Norris, because he needs to get that fast repair. He needs to get that fast repair on and just one lap fresher rubber. He doesn't want to give Densley a huge margin. And he's losing a ton of time back to Scalzi as well. So a couple things for Norris, a couple of reasons for Norris to get in there.
So we actually had Blaine Densley just pull in, and he was nearly 10 seconds, the gap, when he pulled in. Now he has dropped back to 9th. And he's coming out of pits now and will stay 9th.
Yeah, he will, because Aiden Schultz is a lap down. So Clayton's right on that rear bumper of Scalzi's again. In fact, he's going to take it away from him.
Side, yeah.
Yeah. So let him have it, Matty. Let him have it. Drop him behind. Push him along. Push him along. Push him as hard as you can. If he's coming to pit lane. That's why. So yeah, it was critical for Norris to come in early, and the reason for Norris to come in early was that damage. He was sort of had a bit of a parachute hanging off the side of his truck. And his tire wear would be all over the place, absolutely garbage. So it's critical for him to get in early. He didn't give Clayton Davies the opportunity to overcut him or anything like that. Really put himself in a strong position. Now he's got control of the race. The only thing that happens from here for the Right Sim Racing boys is caution is going to ruin their race, but they're in a better spot compared to Blaine Densley. So a lot of these trucks, remember, pit around that 30 to 34 mark. They've got 6-7 laps of fuel left at this sort of a moment. So it's really, really tight now. Actually, be about 10 for some of them. 10 laps of fuel.
If you just have a look at the timing tower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more guys just filed into the pits. Oh, that includes Clayton Davies.
Yeah, so I like that move from Clayton Davies as well. He got the position away from Skulls, which meant that he would have had 2/10, 3/10 of a margin. I like his pit lane entries. He's been a little bit more aggressive on pit lane entry than the other guys, which means even with the undercut coming through from the Right Sim Racing boys, there's a strong chance that he may still have the advantage on them. That's Scalzi coming through there, so he's not going to have that advantage. Scalzi's got it by a country mile. So the entry wasn't great. Oh my word, he was real slow on pit lane entry. There's no way you make up 3.5 seconds. Have a look at the most recent lap times, if you can, for me as well, Shibby. Because this will tell the difference. So you've got guys that are at the tail end of their run now. And this will tell us the difference between peak lap pace of Blaine Densley, Aiden Norris, Skolzy. These guys will be pushing on. They're on their last set of rabbits to the end of the race. So they're going to be trying to extract as much time as they can out of the truck. Densley's just done a fastest lap of the race of 30.152. There's a second and a half, a little bit more than a second and a half of tire fall off to the worst guys on those tires. So Proctor's just come to pit lane because he recognizes he's in a good spot. He's got a really good opportunity for a strong points finish here, and he doesn't want to mess that up by running too long on these tires. He wants an overlap, definitely wants better tires to the end of the race. He will make time up for this entire last run, but T. Riley is now, he's just gone, you know what, we're going to finish 8th anyway, let's run long. As there is literally no reason for me to come to pit lane right now. Run as long as I possibly can, come to pit lane, we get a yellow, we're in a perfect spot.
Strategy chicken.
I mean, it's a difficult call to make, isn't it, Pete? It's not a straightforward call sometimes.
Especially with the clean racing we've seen over this last season, that to bank on a caution is, I feel like the percentages of it happening is really low.
I've participated in a fair few races now where green flag pit stops sort of really decide everything. And it's so much more fun than everyone just pits on a caution, everyone slaps a full set of tires on, everyone takes a full set of gas. It creates when am I pitting and why am I pitting. And it also puts into your mind, how hard am I going to push from the get-go? It creates this sense of, I've got to have target lap times, I've got to have zones when I know I need to push, I know I need to get aggressive, and I've also got to have zones when I know that I'm going to save. Early on in the race, it's your best opportunity to grab spots nice and easily, but the problem is if your lane gets checked up, something happens, a mistake 3 cars ahead of you, sometimes that'll drop you back. Then you've got to go into conservation mode, you've got to recover, you've got to position your truck perfectly, you're just going to sit in that draft pack sometimes, saving fuel, saving a little bit of tire. Very difficult to do when you just want to go racing. Nathan, I know that you just love going racing. There's a few times where I've told you, just sit tight, just get some safety rating. We'll get you up into these arcas and, you'll start having fun. And you're like, no, go racing.
I'm not staying at the back of the pack. Boring.
Sometimes it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you start from the pits, the front, the middle, or the back.
Yeah.
Some of these officials, you just get taken out anyway.
I have a replay that's called Dive Bomb Central, where I actually got, I think, my 3rd podium. And I'm pretty sure 3 guys just joined the session just to, essentially try and take people out.
Yeah.
It was 3 guys through the whole race, slowing right down and then swerving wildly.
Can we get those pit numbers up again? Because we need to keep half an eye on it in terms of where Kenny, Proctor, and Jones all are. So they all pit about the same lap. So tire condition is going to be just about even. They've really about the only thing they can really do is try and hunt down Clayton Davies at this point in time. But if they work together, they'll manage to do that. The problem is, all they've got to do is get within a second of Clayton Davies, and then they've got him. And they're right about there right now. And if they stay single file for maybe the next lap and a half, they'll get to him. If they squabble over it, Clayton's just going to disappear down the road. Is that our leader in the middle of that pack as well? Did I see Blaine Densley?
Yeah, yep, it sure is.
That's why the pack is so bobbled up, it's because I saw 4 trucks in there, so four cars that are involved in the pack. I was like, why is that going on? It's because that's how far Blaine Densley is.
He's
out
16 seconds in front again.
He's half a lap.
He was 10 seconds in front, took his pit stop, ended in 9th, and then
but
everybody
the
else
reason why
pit
he's
stop.
continued to run away is because he's in a 4-car train. He's getting pulled along. He has an unfair advantage on Aiden Norris.
And also the fact that he pit, a lap before everybody? No. Look how many laps
Have a
he pitted
look,
beforehand.
because he's got the worst tires. He's got 6 laps worse tires than everybody else. He's having to let them go. which is costing him a little bit of time, a little bit of track position, but he's getting that back in terms of the draft. Have a look at Kenny, though. Kenny's starting to go hunting for Clayton Davies. That one is going to get really, really close. It is in Andrew Proctor's best interest for maybe the next 5-6 laps to push him as hard as possible. Go racing in the last 5. Go racing in the last 5, 100%. But right now, just push it. Push, push, push. Get in underneath that rear bumper. Get that air. Get him going forwards. Because if you fight him, you're going to slip further back into Pete Jones's claws. And that's going to cost you potentially a race. Well, Stepper is right there. He's working with Kenny. He's going forward. The instant he pulls out to fight him, he's going backwards. Got a feel for Aiden Schultz, though.
Is that all off that lap 1 incident?
Correct. Yeah, he's just...
Oh,
if there was another
no.
caution,
He'd
he'd
be
be back on the
fine.
lead lap. Yeah. He's just never gotten that opportunity. That's racing.
Quick, someone throw a banana on the track.
Debris caution.
Did you say debris caution?
Yeah, that's the thing that happens in that
Debris.
stuff.
Oh, no, I meant Mario Kart style.
Well, you got to remember that they're doing, 260 k's an hour in big, heavy cars.
No brakes.
Debris.
They have
If they
brakes.
get a small cut in those tires, they're hitting the barriers so hard.
Oh, go on, do it.
I like how you've invited your friends over and be like, yeah, man, there's a ton of wrecks. It's really cool.
That's not what I said.
Buff's doing an amazing job. Buff Proctor. He's pulled out. He's pulled out very, very early as Pete Jones. So Pete was probably sitting back, saving a little bit of tire. Gotta be careful. Can't touch that flat surface. Remember that apron underneath. Excuse me. Underneath that that apron is a flat surface, and you've got a truck that's geared to race on these bank surfaces. The way that it's designed is to be on these bank surfaces. You throw a flat surface at it, most cars will balk at having one wheel on a bank surface and one wheel on a flat surface. Whoa, that was high and wild.
Yeah, Pete Jones is now right on the back of Andrew, who's right on the back of Luke.
He's got to be careful. He's trying to pick up the throttle too early now as Proctor. You see that? He was really wiggly. It wasn't consistent. It wasn't a smooth line through those corners. That's a cheese grater. It's like taking a grater to your front right tire. That's the thing you don't want to do. See how Pete Jones is taking a really nice smooth arc? Push him. Stay on that rear bumper. Push him. Perfect. Perfect. You're both going faster. Get up there. Okay, 7 laps to go. Pete Jones has gone by. You know what? You're not catching Clayton Davies. That's it. Time to race. Flip the switch.
Yeah,
You've gone
race
back
for
a spot.
position
Now you've got to
now.
flip it over.
6 laps to go, guys. Now you got to race for position.
Now he's got to start rotating that car nicely. See how he got on the gas just a fraction too early? Gets out of the groove. Has to lift. All that momentum gone.
And there's Tom Riley coming in up
Yeah.
as well. So Pete Jones
Maybe.
is side by side with Luke Kenny right now.
Maybe Pete Jones has just been sitting here saving all this time. Look at the time. He's back under 9-10, back under that second again.
Yep.
He's going to take a full 10th out of him down this front straight. So Davies is starting to struggle. So Jones was just sitting there and saving tire this whole time.
And Matty Keane said they're fighting too hard.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. If they can keep doing that, that's probably enough. Because Pete Jones is now into Clayton Davies' draft. So there's another 10th gone. You need to do a little bit more than that. It needs to be a 10th and a half, 10th and a quarter, a little bit more than that. But he's taking enough time. He's down to 7.5 tenths. He might get there. He's taking a 10th and a half out of him that last lap. And here comes Buff again. He's not out of this. So this was smart driving by Pete. Remember what I was talking about? Didn't fight anyone. He just let them go. Stayed in the draft, stayed attached to them, and didn't lose any time whilst he sat back. He picked up the throttle really, really late in the corner. And when you pick up the throttle late, it keeps weight over that front right tire. It means there's more grip at that front right tire. It means any turning inputs you put into that front right tire, the car's more responsive. The car's less gratery on that. Narrow entry like that for Buff. He's going to drift up the track again. Really present an opportunity for Thomas Riley. But Riley's on the low line. He's got no drafting support. There's 4 cars in this top lane. And Pete Jones has cleared a second out to these guys. Oh, there's the caution we might need. Still green? No, there's the caution.
Ooh.
Tell you what, we're going to get Shimmy's favorite thing in NASCAR.
Oh, it's going to be NASCAR overtime.
It is. Oh, no.
Stuck in the wall. It's the worst.
Kenny's, yeah, stuck in the wall.
He's going to have to tow too.
Yeah, he has no...
Someone go give him a bump. Ah, he's already towed.
He's already tied. There's nothing you can do. The front of the bumper was already caught in the wall. Even if somebody gave him a bump, there'd be nothing you can do. And the worst part about all of this is for Aiden Schultz, is I'm pretty sure that Locke is 1 lap down, which means he still won't get the lucky dog.
Michael Lockie's 1 lap down as well. Yep, you're 100% right, mate.
But NASCAR overtime, cautions breed cautions. You're gonna get aggressive. Densley's in trouble here.
Everybody is on the back of him with
No.
pressure tyres.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? So,
Yep.
so I hope that Densley had a 16-second lead and he was just sitting on those tires. If he was pushing, if he was taking life out of those tires, and I hope for Aiden Norris's sake, he looked at that lead and went, you know what, I'm not going to run that down. Let's not even try. But you know who pitted the latest of the lot of them?
T-Ray. No, Kenny.
Who's got enough fuel?
Kenny. Oh, no, that's he pitted because of his incident. So, yeah, T-Rain.
Yeah, T. Riley. Yep. Who's got enough fuel? Did these guys fuel for a green-white checkers? Did these guys fuel for a second green-white checkers? Because they were right on that maximum fuel range. If they filled the car, they're okay. And this is the only circumstance where you wouldn't want an automatic fueling software to be handling this sort of thing for you, because at the end of the day, they'll calculate based upon 80 laps. They won't calculate based upon caution plus green-white checkers laps. There's a couple of guys who might be caught out on fuel here. But if you're Blaine Densley, you don't have a choice. You got to commit. You were so far ahead. Now you're at the front of the pack. You're on the worst tires. If you don't get this lap back, you're done. Sorry, if you don't hang on to this lead, you're done. You can't pit. You cannot pit if you're in Blaine Densley's shoes. He doesn't have a choice.
That's why I look with crew chief. You know, he said that it puts in X amount of laps of fueling on a stop rather than any kind of time. So you more do it like I do it, like as a safety net, you know, for just in case, because you get totally screwed up by crew chief sometimes, and in other ways, like, you know, thinking about the calculations so quickly. So
yeah, there's no sets of tires left. No one has any tires left. So this is going to be a restart on old tires. There's going to be a couple of guys. This is the first time we've done this season. There's going to be a couple guys here on really, really old rubber. Somebody's going to spin rear tires. If I was in these guys' shoes, down this backstretch, I'm doing practice starts.
I'm excited. Hughesy's given the team a bit of a pep talk. He said their tyres are cooked, though.
Anything could happen here.
Anything could happen. Everybody's tyres are absolutely cooked. Oh, this is going to be... What a way to finish the penultimate round. It is going to be straight up a green-white checker.
And remember, there's no guarantees that anyone here has enough fuel.
Well, we're going to find out very soon, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to go green again. Hold on to your hats. This is going to be one crazy finish, or a really boring finish, but, you know, either way, it's going to be awesome.
Mate, if I was in Aiden Schultz's shoes right now, you'd just be frustrated. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that was not good. That Kenny also fell on the lap behind, so Schultz didn't get his lucky dog.
He hasn't got the freshest tires of anyone. He hasn't been able to run anyone down. Running down a lap is very, very difficult. Have a look at the guy who's had the most pace of anyone here tonight is Blaine Densley. He only got half a lap ahead. Only half a lap, right, of P2. So there was no hope in hell for Aiden Schultz to actually go down and get that extra lap. I hope that he saved up a bank of tires. I hope at one of those pit stops he just went, oh, I've got to do something different. I've got to do something different, because that's how you get your way back to the front. When you're in his shoes, you cannot do what everyone else does. You do that, race over, forget it. So I hope that he's done something, because if he can shove the nose in here, get a little bit aggressive, and that caution gets triggered, he might get to that lap back. Then he's got fresh tires. Then there's a few of these guys that might have to pit for fuel. Really shake up this running order. Lights are off. We're going to get back to green this lap. It's going to be 2-lap dash, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are new here for the first time, NASCAR Green White Checkers is exactly what it says on the tin. We go green. Next time by, we get the last lap flag. That is the white flag. After that, we get the checkered flag. That's the end of the race. If we get a caution before that white flag, we're going to rack them back up, stack them, and go once more. And it's green. Densley got a great launch, but look at Davies on the outside. He's going to try and send it to the top side. He's got good rubber underneath him as well, but he was starting to trend back towards the pack. Who's got grip left underneath them? There wasn't any spun tires. We are green down into turn number 1. And it looks like the field's going to get through. We've got 2 corners to go, then it's white flag, and the race will end just after that. One more lap. Who's going to get it? Norris gets shuffled back to P3. Densley's hung onto enough tire. He's gone. Davies has managed to snaffle himself P number 2, but here comes Skulls. Here comes Norris as well. Norris wants to get racy. He wants to get involved. Shadow's low. Skulls is going to rotate it from the top side. He's looking for the exit run. Norris has rotated it a little bit. He's had to lift. He's had to lift and rotate it. The Twitch.tv/Ranconia's truck has got it in 3rd. Only Ram sending it off the top step. Will Skulls get back to 3rd? He's got the momentum, trending high, run off the last corner. I think Davies is sputtering. He looks like he's running out of fuel. It's a photo finish for P2, P3, P4, but it's going to be Davies from Aiden Norris from Skulls. I think Pete Jones comes away with P5.
Densley, Davies, Norris, Skulls, Jones, Proctor, Riley, Locke, Schulz, Kenny to wind out your 10 tonight.
So Schultz will get back to P9. Luke Kenny gets trapped off of the lead lap because of that incident with T. Riley. He was looking strong as well, had great tires. T. Riley had phenomenal tires, but just didn't get the launch that he was looking for. And Blaine Densley books another ticket to victory lane. With 1 week left in the NASCAR Truck Series, will that be enough for Blaine Densley? He's back on 216 points.
Now the truck's
coming through.
doing what they do best.
Burn rubber, degrade tires as quickly as possible.
Oh, this is the best thing about the trucks, is just as soon as the race is over, it's like, boys, if you want to get out there and throw some rubber in the air, go for it.
Who cares? Burn it up.
Get off the grass, though, so we can at least see the tyre smoke, guys. Jeez.
Is it too difficult to ask for a little bit of tire smoke? Jesus.
Yeah. They're going to do the little kiss burnout? Yeah!
Pete Morris, I hope you've enjoyed your time in the boat ramp booth here tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun, boys. It's definitely been fun.
Something a little bit different for your Monday night, I'm sure.
Yes. No, it's been good.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, mate. I can't afford to pay you, so thanks for coming, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, I was waiting for the Aiden Norris pictures, because here it comes. The drift show is about to start, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I was waiting. Oh, don't whiff it first corner, mate. Oh. Ah, mate. Disappointing.
Oh, no.
Perfect. I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, keep it going. Oh.
It's exactly what he meant to do. Exactly what he meant to do. Great race, guys. Awesome job. Congratulations to the podium from Darren Robb. Maddie says, night, guys. Great effort, front runners from Stephen Hall. Nice finish, guys. Well done from Maddie Keane. Thanks, everybody, for dropping in tonight. If you did enjoy the broadcast, make sure you have hit that like button and you are subscribed. Because we are 515 subscribers off before we give away a racecraft rig and seat. So make
There
sure
we
to
go.
share it with all your friends.
Engine expired from Aiden Norris. I was wondering how long it'd take for him to get here into the podium room, and it came down to how long the engine would last for him.
It's the easiest way to work it out. All right, let me tee up our. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, podium interview stuff, aren't I? Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. Have you got autism or ADHD as well? Have you forgotten what you're doing if it's not in front of you?
Look, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if I had some sort of ADHD. I cannot sit still anytime.
Well, I've got good news for you because Aiden Norris has finished with his celebratory burnouts at sliding, and he's joined us here on the boat ramp interview booth. Aiden, we've managed to bring the boat ramp to you here on your Monday night. None of this, you have to go and find Hughesy wherever he is. No, we brought it right to you, mate.
Oh, thanks, gents.
You're welcome.
We see you've got yourself a new livery.
I wasn't playing games when I mentioned it last week.
I just noticed too, they used the code at David Nash's car wash. We didn't even see that as well. Look at that right there. Oh, hang on.
There's overlays in the way.
Yeah, I'll get rid of that. Let's see David Nash's car wash. Look, it's beautiful.
Oh, Lord. Mate,
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have. Most importantly, I want to know how I can get my signed copy of Win Cup's autobiography.
Look, I think I'm going to have to find out for you, mate, but I think it's a possibility.
We joked we might have some connections. We might try and see if we can get a couple of photos of this livery put in front of Jamie Whincup and see how that goes from there. Interesting race here tonight. We saw the big old side swipe in the wall. Were you just down there exchanging phone details with the outside barrier, looking to get a few touch-ups and catch up after the race?
Trying to make it to David Nash's car wash, but the wall didn't let me.
The wall's just standing in your way of going and getting a nice, clean-looking car. Is what I'm.
100%. But no, I wasn't very happy with myself after that, and I was quite a bit slower for the next 15 or 20 laps or something like that, however many it was. But we still came in a podium, and I can't complain about that.
It's been a long old season, a lot of cookie cutters. At Texas, it's got that real wide turn number 1-2 complex, and it's almost a road course-esque first turn. How did you find the different layout here tonight? It's quite a unique oval. There's really nothing like it.
Yeah, I found turn 1 and 2 quite tricky. Like turn 3 and 4 was quite easy, just hold it flat the whole time pretty much, but like there was that bit of a bump coming into turn 1 was quite tricky. In my practice laps tonight, I did put it in the wall many times, so yeah, it wasn't ideal, but we got there.
In terms of the overall season as a whole, I mean, that was quite easy. Set the night up really well with that accident we just saw on screen right there over on the first lap. But then, you get into that mid-late race. Was there a lot of tyre saving going on? Because you thought, look, probably my only hope here is to actually get a very late race caution.
Me saving tyres is that's
okay,
not a possibility with me.
I apologise. I should have never said that. My bad.
Hey, if I could get down to the rims, I would.
There's canvas. When he's done with them, there's just canvas everywhere, all over the track. Mate, well, congratulations on the P3 finish. We'll let you celebrate here in a few moments. But first off, you better tell us who makes it possible, other than the 2 Twitch channels and the car wash on the boot deck of this NASCAR truck.
First of all, it's a massive shout out to Jacob Hughes for the paint. He slapped it together actually lunchtime today, so he did a brilliant job with that. Bliss Homes, Capital Custom Works, and FU Suicide. Congratulations,
mate. We'll see you again next week for the finale, coming to you from Miami. Is where we're going to be finishing the season off. Big old trip to one of the best locations in the world to celebrate an end of season. How about that?
Oh, as long as I can do a burnout, I'm keen.
Mate, you'll have plenty of those for you next week. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Well done, mate.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move right along to P number 2 here tonight. That one's going to go courtesy of Clayton Davies. Clayton, Well, things started off looking all right, and then they sort of took a rough early run through things. You got lucky enough to stay on the lead lap. Talk us through your night from lap 1, which was the most eventful of the night, and right the way through.
Oh, rough's a word for it. That wall hurts. It's just a racing deal between me and Aiden. I think just first lap, everyone's trying to find their spots. I'm not as good at these as what some of these other boys are, so I was probably a little bit off the pace compared to him, and I just didn't keep my momentum through there, and he had nowhere to go. There's no hard feelings in that one. We were lucky enough that the car, I was able to get a fast repair, and the tires weren't too damaged from that incident, and we were able to keep up with the pack and make some spots up, and end up really coming into a decent strategy with it, having extra fuel. And we're just lucky enough that we were really good off the restarts to pick positions and just play the game essentially.
Mate, interesting night, obviously. Tyre saving strategy, was there a real plan? Did you have a way that you were really targeting getting yourself back up in the top 5? Because you did a phenomenal job, obviously, to get there. But it took, 70 or so laps to really work your way back in. Were you comfortable with finishing perhaps 4th at the end of the night? There was a pack of cars that was starting to breathe down your neck. Peter Jones had a lot of pace late on. Were you a little bit worried looking through the rear mirror?
Yeah, I thought I had a bit of a run there before that last stop, and just came in too hot, and I locked it up and lost a lot of momentum, and was able to, where Matt and his teammate were able to get that little bit of a buffer, and I just burnt my tires too much trying to get them, trying to reel them back in, and I thought I was really done for that point. But that last late race yellow managed to give us another chance, and I took full advantage of it. And most of the runs were just, I'd say, for the first 5 to 10 laps, try and just get myself into a steady rhythm, and then just more hold a pace and not let the tires degrade as bad as what maybe some of the other guys were running.
I mean, it's really, really tricky. We were just talking to Aiden Norris about how to rotate turn 1 and 2. I mean, it's a lot wider, and we don't get a lot of opportunities with very, very wide corners with late apexes like that, and the way that you've really got to drive. It's a completely different style of driving that we've really seen right throughout the season. How did you find it? How did you adjust here tonight?
All these tracks are a completely different style of driving to what I'm used to. I'm just a dirt boy. Usually it's sideways as you can get it. Usually is the fastest way. So trying to keep it straight, even as a normal, is still hard now, especially in these trucks. I'm learning every truck I go to. So it's pretty much just figuring it out as I go. I got Blaine, it's got a fair bit of experience, and him giving me just advice on different lines to attack and different things to try and what suits my driving style the most. And I was just lucky enough that I probably had a few extra minutes to practice some stuff before the race got underway.
Mate, well, banging race either way. Obviously, that final restart was critical. I mean, it helps when you got Blaine sort of calling the restart. You know what the jump time is. You know how to really get the most out of the truck. But first time we've actually done a restart on very, very old tires. Was there any wheel spin? Were you worried? Did you do a test start? Was there how were you preparing yourself for a restart on older tires?
There was no real preparation. Just be mindful that the wheel spin is a thing. Just the common knowledge of it all. Just you're on old tires, don't treat them like they're fresh. Give them a couple of seconds to get themselves under, the grip back under them, and then attack. So I'd constantly try and keep heat into them as I was going around. Try not let them cool right off to where they might go off. Just try and keep them the same temperature. Try not to offset it and really upset the car. So that managed to work out a little bit for us. And yeah, that restart was just a major part.
Well, congratulations, mate. Another strong finish here to sort of get towards the tail end of the season. Penultimate round next week. We come from Miami. Your opportunity to thank all of your sponsors and make it possible for you.
I'd like to thank 27 Designs, CDS Cinematography, all the boys in Discord, Glenny usually, but he couldn't make tonight's round, Miller, all the 27 family, and you guys for putting on the league and the broadcast. It's fun to to go back and watch myself sometimes make an idiot of myself, and sometimes to come back and watch a good result, just like tonight.
Mate, we
Well,
make
mate,
idiots of ourselves every week, so you got no
I've got
issues.
some bad news. There wasn't a whole bunch of watching you come back through the field because, be honest, there was a lot of battles right up and down the field. We kind of you just went, oh, hang on, Clayton's back up for the lead. When did that happen? So, sorry, mate, but there's no real, like, you drove well, you got through here. We sort of just went, hang on, he's there at the end of the race.
Oh, that's fine by me. The last lap's the only lap that matters.
Congratulations, mate. Better let you go off and enjoy the finish, brother. Congratulations once again. Have a good night.
Thanks, buddy.
Righto, and finally we'll move on to our winner here tonight. Yet again, what's this? A whole bunch of wins for Blaine Dens
Time
this
in a
season?
row.
Yeah, something like that. Something stupid. Can you just stop? Do you know how to stop winning these things, Blaine? This is just becoming too commonplace, mate. I'm gonna have to kick you out if you keep this up.
Did you see where I am in the championship points, mate? I need to win all the races I can get.
Mate, you're down where you belong. I don't know what you're
That's what
dare
happens when
you
you miss
come.
the first 2 or 3 races.
Yeah, how dare you come from dirt and then just show up all the oval drivers?
Oh well, it gives them something to chase. Hopefully, gets them up to speed a bit, maybe.
Mate, tricky race here tonight. That much is difficult to wrap your head around. Very, very wide track, which we've already talked about to a few people here tonight. It's not easy to get your head wrapped around that a few times, but you managed to do it for 80 laps here tonight quite consistently. Early caution, reset the field, let everyone sort of get back into things, and then a lot of long runs. And you were committing to the early pit stops. You were committing to that split the race into 3, divide it up nice and evenly, look after those tyres, and go for that outright pace. It worked out, but was there a bit of concern in that last caution?
Oh yeah, I was rapt to see that yellow come out with a 16.5-second lead. I just split it into 3. I figured you only get 35 laps on a tank of fuel, so you may as well be on good tires for all 35 laps. That was my theory. I made the most out of the tire grip and would have won the thing by a country mile if it weren't for that last restart. But thankfully, I had enough in reserve to be able to get the job done.
And it's all about getting that jump done. We just talked to Clayton about getting the restart going on older tires. You had the oldest tires a lot. Was that obviously the real wheel spin? There was a huge risk tonight that it could have all gone awry whilst leading the field under the final restart in NASCAR overtime. That just would have put the night, taking it from 16-second lead. The guy's cruising. He's chilling out. He really doesn't care, what's going on, to, oh no, it's all happened. It's all come undone.
Yeah, honestly, I was waiting for it, but I did honestly still do a decent job throughout the longer runs to save a bit of rubber. There's no point building up a huge lead if you're just going to let them run you back down a second lap at the end. So I felt like I had enough tyre to be able to sort of defend, but I'm glad it was only a green-white checker and not 10 to go, because I think some of those guys that I was behind after they cycled through the pit stops from, I think, maybe 3rd, 4th and 5th, they were just ahead of me on the track and they were faster than me. Even though I was leading, they were pulling away from me. So I knew when that yellow came out that there was a risk that I was going to back it up. But thankfully had just enough in reserve, and with everyone being busy racing everyone else, I was able to keep a gap.
Talk to us a little bit about that specific situation you've just mentioned there. It's normally in most styles of racing, lapped cars come up on you. You've sort of got right away there. It's not the case in NASCAR. Blue flags mean essentially diddly squat. And the worst part is that they're just barreling through and they've got to get back to the lead lap. It is so critical for anyone racing NASCAR that you do get back to that lead lap and you get back there as quickly as possible, because if that caution flag flies, you don't want to be stuck that lap down. So managing all of that with a 16-second lead, it would have been a lot trickier if it was, say, 2-3 seconds. That would have been a big worry, handling lap traffic that's got the pace on you.
Yeah, it would have been, but that's kind of my theory, is get in, get the grip, and get a big margin to sort of give myself a bit of a safety buffer. So on one hand, I kind of I expect that I'm gonna have to give way to lappers, but I was only looking at the gap to P2 and it was still getting bigger, so I wasn't bothered by trying to get wrecked by a guy trying to get his lap back. I just sort of moved over and let him go because I knew that I was never going to be able to compete with their tire grip and lap time, and that's why I was so nervous on that last restart, because I thought that some of those guys were still going to be able to have a fair bit of lap time on me. But yeah, thankfully the way it all panned out, it was enough to get it done in the end anyway.
Well, we were just talking about it as well throughout the race. When those guys sort of got past you and were sort of picking you off as well, it's quite a long track. There's a lot of straightaway here. That draft effect, it does take over. It does actually offer you something. So letting those guys go by and perhaps pull you along a little bit, was that in plan? Was that, perhaps the goal a little bit?
Not deliberately, but I guess it did help being behind cars that were faster. I just have to be careful that, like, 9 times out of 10, if you've got a car in front of you that's faster, you're overdriving and just burning up tires off it even more. So I wasn't really bothered if they wanted to pull away and break the draft. I was more focused on just trying to keep the tires under me in case I needed them at the end, which I did. So I'm glad I didn't try and race them and try and be a hero and win by 20 seconds, because in the end I was able to just save enough to have some tire left in the end to get the win.
Next week, now we head off to Miami. It's an awesome place to go ahead and just say, that's it, signed, sealed, and delivered. That's the season all over and done with. You ever race much around Miami? Is there anything that you know about Miami, or perhaps what it's served as NASCAR in the past, or this is all just fresh for you?
Yeah, it gets up on the wall. You get to run the outside groove there up along the fence, right where I like it. So I'm looking forward to getting there. High,
wide, and handsome, ripping the lip.
Yeah, that's it. Dirt track style. Yeehaw. My wheelhouse.
Your winner here tonight, Blaine Densley, sounds like he's pretty confident heading next week into Miami. Homestead Miami Speedway to finish the season off. Blaine, your opportunity to thank everyone who makes it possible for you.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my personal sponsors, B&B Retaining Walls, Helmut Helmet Design, and my own 27 Design, and all my customers. I'd like to thank CD Cinematography and Clayton, who I was in Discord with this whole race. He was trying to coach him through it a little bit as well. And then the fangirls, Miller and Glennie, watching it on the stream. Thanks for watching, boys. Yeah, Glennie, we missed you, mate. I know he's away on a work trip at the moment. Normally he'd be racing with us, so I'm glad that he was able to watch it and enjoy a good finish.
Well, mate, congratulations here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us here on the booth, and we're looking forward to starting that season off next week as well. So, looking forward to see you then.
Thanks. See you guys.
Well, Nate, that's another podcast done, and I'm sorry to say there's one podcast left for 2022.
Yeah, but bigger and better things are coming next year, so I'm not that sad. I'm definitely going to enjoy a well-deserved break on a cruise ship over Christmas break.
How dare you? Where was my invite? I'm sorry, but you can't.
It was a family-only invite, you see. So.
I'm part of your family now, and you know that.
When are you going?
The 9th we leave Queensland, so...
Where's it going to?
We're actually travelling to Sydney, because we got family down there, and then we're cruising back up along the coast of Australia to the Great Barrier Reef, so...
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we're going down to Sydney to cruise back to Queensland, but it's still going to be really nice and get to spend it with family that weren't able to make it to mine and my wife's wedding during COVID time, so we've organised a big thing with all our New South Wales fam and still jumping on a boat together and having a party.
Mate, just stick your little one in
the daycares and the
kids club.
Oh, mate, there's so much.
Giddy up.
Yeah, we've got it all planned out. $100 a day for all you can drink, mate. I'm definitely going to have liver poisoning at least one of these days. So.
Oh my god! I wish we just stuck to $100 a day on our cruise.
No, it's $100 all you can drink for one day. You pay $100 and it's an open bar scenario.
Yeah. Eating's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of those ones you find that they you have to go to a certain bar, to redeem it. And some of those ones, like the drinks, are definitely not as strong when you go to the bars that everyone else are going. So depends on what you like to drink. And
I'm a beer man, so they can't really water my beer. Well, I suppose they could if it's in kegs. They could water the kegs down.
Nah, get in the can, mate. Like that way, like there's no stress there.
Get on the cans. Sounds good.
Getting on the king.
That sounds great.
Well, if you're coming down to Sydney, I'm coming to meet you. I'm sorry, but I will make that happen.
I will be in Darling Harbour as my auntie has a place that overlooks the harbour, so we'll be
we will discuss. We will discuss.
And then I'll be Castle Hill way as well. So I don't want to be.
We will discuss away from stream. We will discuss.
I don't want to be in the city, so we're going out the back, out North Richmond
I don't
actually.
blame you.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, we're going
North
right out the back.
Richmond.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another podcast signed, sealed, and delivered. A reminder tonight, you have proudly been brought to the Sim Racing World NASCAR podcast series on your Monday night live from the boat ramp by DSL Welding Services, Warren and Brown Tools, Dragon RC, Melville Equipment Corporation, or I nearly said somebody else, another series of sponsor that I broadcast for in there, but we're going to say Racecraft Simulations and Toyo Sim is going to bring us to the tail end of things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Monday night podcast. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. If you haven't, let us know. If you have, let us know. In fact, if you just want to talk, I'll be around. You know where to find me. Ladies and gents, we'll be back again throughout the week. Tomorrow night, the second last round begins for the Dirt Oval Series. Wednesday night, your TCRs. That championship battle is down to 1 point for your championship lead. Who's going to take it out in terms of the Formula 3? It's been just about a Matty Jones-dominated season. Will he have what it takes to put the bookend on the season? Find that out as well. Don't forget, on Thursday night, you'll also have your SR8 Radicals. What a joy it has been to bring you all the action of those guys in your Porsche Cup Series. Friday nights is your GT3 Mini Enduros, and Sunday is just about ready to roll right on once more. It's your V8 Supercars Series, proudly brought to you by DSL Welding Services, complete with your top 10 shootout. That has been a highlight for this season. My name is Scotty Rattlegun Rankin, alongside the Supermeter Peter Morris. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Pete.
No problems.
Yeah, unique opportunity. We've never been able to enjoy the commentary booth with you for such an extended period of time, so thank you. And of course, Nathan, Chibi, Howie, Howard. It's both of them now. Nathan, Hal, Chibi.
I know how to end this. This is Oh no, Scotty just got server muted. I wonder what we're gonna do without him. But yes, that has been our Monday night podcast, and we will see you all again next Monday for our championship round to find out who will take home the boat ramp trophy this season. Stay safe, everybody, and we will see you all again soon. Yeah, that fixed it, didn't it, Scott?